welcome. Today, I'm excited to introduce you to Team Up, a nonprofit that's making a real impact around the world. Let's take a look at their inspiring mission and the change they're creating. To like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more interesting interviews.
Where we're fundraising to raise money for Puerto Rico and Team Up's mission to help Puerto Rico. Any proceeds from buying the coquito latte will go straight to that Team Up itself.
Every morning, millions of us wake up and drink a cup of coffee without ever wondering where it came from or whose life is behind it. But in places like Puerto Rico and Guatemala, coffee isn't just a drink. It's survival. It's education for children. It's whether a family eats or doesn't. The organization you're about to meet is planting coffee trees to restore farms, support families, and even bring clean water to communities that still don't have it. This isn't just a conversation about coffee. It's a conversation about people, purpose, and the impact a simple idea can have across a country. Let's get into the story. Let's start from the beginning to give people some context. First of all, what's your name? How did you come with this idea?
Bueno, mi nombre es Ramonita. My name's Romy for short. And so the story about Team Up, right? So Team Up started from an opportunity to literally team up. We teamed up with another group of strangers to us to build a school in Senegal, West Africa. There was 2 or 3 of us, and there was about 5 of them that were from the DMV area. We had both of our groups had reached about halfway mark to build a school in Senegal, and we had the opportunity to either wait for another year to complete our fundraising, or we could go that summer, that was summer 2018, and team up with this other group. And we thought, let's team up, let's do it right now. We have the momentum, let's do it. We had a wonderful time. It was the best experience. We were immersed in a culture that was totally different to all of us. We worked alongside the community to literally brick by brick build a school, and it was so much fun. We came back that summer and our friends were like, what was that? I want to do it, let's do it. So the next year we brought a group of about 16 of us to Guatemala to build another school, and this time it was even more special because, like I said, it was my sister, my best friends. Like, it was just a really good time, and it was awfully cold. It was so cold. It could have been like an awful time, but we muscled through, and we had a good time. And so we came back and we're like, how do we keep doing this again? And so we thought, like, maybe let's make our own nonprofit and do this kind of thing, literally bring people together to do good. So then we spent 2020, we were at home, most of us, and we were figuring out like what Team Up would look like. And in a lot of ways we're still figuring it out, but along the way, in the last 5 or so years, we've done a lot of good. Built basketball courts, built schools, and brought so many people together along with community to do it.
That's so amazing. And I always love like an inspiring story.
I love telling that story.
Yes. People, when they listen to inspiring story, they're like, I want to be a part of that. Like, I like that, or I want to do that, or something similar to that. And is there a personal connection to Puerto Rico or Guatemala?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Hartford. And our founding team, there's 5 of us. We're pretty diverse. Some from Connecticut, some from Florida, and even international. But I'm Puerto Rican. My parents moved here when they were expecting me, and for better opportunities, for better education, and in a lot of ways, they've always found ways to make sure that we're connected to the island. Whether it was starting a business there that made sure that we had to go back year after year, but it was easy to find love and connection there. A lot of my family is still in Puerto Rico, in Juana Díaz to be exact.
Saludos a la gente de Juana Díaz.
Yeah, and so this project is personal. By the time we get there in April, we would have been planning for a year and a half, right? We had to find the right partner, and I'll tell you a little bit about the treks and how they work. We identify a nonprofit in the space that we want to be in, whether that's Guatemala, Nepal, anywhere in West Africa. We find a partner, a nonprofit that's building a school that aligns with our mission and our goals is to build community, right? Community development, youth empowerment, so the school building project or a sustainable project, kind of like the farming one that we're doing in Puerto Rico. We identified Plenitud, which is an organization in Las Marias, Puerto Rico, and they are educating farmers and local community members. So we found something in alignment, and then we've been planning this and how we get our people from here, from the greater Hartford, Connecticut area, to come to Puerto Rico.
Awesome. And I know you guys have a trip planned to Puerto Rico now in April. Can you give us a little bit more details? When is it going to be and where is it going to take place?
Yep. So we'll be bringing a team. We call them teammates. Our volunteers are teammates because we team up. We'll be bringing a team of volunteers in April 6th through the 12th. And we think about our treks as an opportunity to travel with a purpose, right? So maybe Puerto Rico is a familiar place, especially for people like me that have had the opportunity to go back to the island year after year. But we visit a lot of different places, like I mentioned, Nepal, Guatemala, places that you might not normally travel to. And so the treks offer an opportunity to do something amazing for another community, but also explore. So we'll also have a trip to El Yunque, we'll do kayaking in La Palguera. So we'll have some opportunities to get a taste of Puerto Rican culture and Puerto Rican experiences while also doing good for our community.
¡Qué rico! Can anybody be part of this?
Yeah, anybody can be part of it. So the way that the treks work, we figure out what it costs to do this project, whether it's school builds or water pumps, or this time the farming. And then we figure out how many teammates we need to get to that goal. And so individuals team up with us, they fundraise their portion of the trip. For this trip is $2,500 to be able to raise the full amount. And then that covers all of their experiences, not only their portion towards the project, but also their meals while they're there, their lodging while they're there, their transport from the airport to the work site, and all of the experiences in between. Like I mentioned, the kayaking, the yunque, all of those other add-ons.
Qué rico. I know that's going to be so much fun, and I'm not going to be able to be part of it, but I do invite you, if you can. Where can they contact you if they want to be part of this trip?
Yeah, so you can check out our website. We have something that says Team Up With Us. One of the pages is Team Up With Us, and you'll find the Puerto Rico Project. It's goteamup.org, or you can find us on the socials. It's teamup.ngo.
Awesome. So ya sabes, si te quieres ir para Puerto Rico ahora en abril por 6 días, son $2,500.
It's $2,500, but think about it like that's covering all of your things while you're there. If you wanted to have experience stay beyond that, that would be on your own, but it covers your stay there, the food, the lodging, the culture experiences, and your piece, your donation to the project.
That's so awesome. And I also saw there's like a $500 as well.
Yeah, so that's your travel, what we estimate travel might be, but that depends on where you're coming from, when you're leaving, when you book. So we mentioned the $500 is what you can estimate for a flight.
Awesome. So you know already $3,000, and you get to go and live and be part of this beautiful experience for a good cause in our island that there is so much necessity. So before you started this, what did you do before this?
I worked in education for a long time. In support services, so I supported families to be equal stakeholders of their kids' education, whether that was translating for parents to understand the lingo, right, that happens in the schools. Also encouraging kids to stay in school, right? Attendance is such a big issue that we see. So like I said, a lot of my work has been around supporting communities and education. Now I work professionally at a community foundation where I continue to educate donors essentially on different topics, and at the end of the year we give back. So I support our giving circles, which is the idea of individuals coming together to pool their resources, learn about a topic through a year-long journey, and then at the end of the year they make grants towards that topic.
Qué bueno. So you've always been in a space of like giving to the community.
Service, I would say, yeah.
What would you say was the hardest part to start this organization?
I think in some ways we're still in that flow, right? And it's figuring out how we do this full time. We want to be able to eventually someday Team Us be our employer. Right now, all the co-founders and people that we bring along are essentially volunteers. We volunteer our time to this cause, but we would love to get to a point someday where this is what we're doing full time, and we can expand the number of projects. Now we do about 3 projects a year, but that takes a lot of human resource. So
yeah, for sure, that takes a lot of manpower. So when you plant one coffee tree, what does that actually change for a family?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So when you plant a coffee tree, you're not going to see the fruits of that tree until 5 years at best. Pero what happens is that it will continue to bear fruit essentially for 30 years.
Wow.
So Actually, I just watched this video that talked about planting and growing farmers is a form of resistance, because when you're able to sustain yourself, right? So these farmers are going to be able to provide coffee, fruit, or nuts for themselves, but also for the community they live in. Las Marias is a food desert, o sea que no hay grocery stores in the immediate town. Like, they have to leave that town to be able to get to a grocery store that has all of the things that you would need to cook your meals for your family. So these farmers are going to be able to provide goods, sell goods to their neighbors, have it for their families and their neighbors. So we are in a lot of ways supporting a group of farmers to support themselves.
Wow, that's amazing. I love the purpose. You'll be surprised how much necessity there's still in our island. Like, there's still people out there without clean water and don't have access to good health care and other things, education. So you'll be surprised.
Like trauma, right? Like, when I go to Puerto Rico, I see my tias and they have like drones of water por si acaso para cuando se vaya el agua.
Y es que se va.
Yeah, se va. Like, literally the faucet, you will turn on the faucet and it's not running. And it's just, it happens so regularly. The power, I mean, the power goes out. That's just regular. So yeah, and it doesn't matter, right? We live in the mountains, but like in the city too.
Yep.
It's happening everywhere.
It's so bad. I dream that one day Puerto Rico is going to be stable with electricity and water for the island, because I think that's one of our biggest necessities out there. I have my grandparents in Puerto Rico, and sometimes they're like, oh, we've been without power for 2 days.
Yeah.
O se nos fue el agua.
It's normal.
And it's so bad. Do you see any change in the community after your first water project or your coffee project?
So Nepal is a good example. So we went to Nepal in 2023 for our first planting project, and then we went again in 2024. And the community recognized us, so they knew what we were there to do. We could start to see the growth of the trees from the year before. We could start to feel that there was a sense of safety or security, right? Good was coming. We planted these trees. It was a process, it was a journey, but the organization that we work with there, Sir Left Plenitud in Puerto Rico, are there to support them and educate them on how to do this in their own spaces, the lands that they already own, because it doesn't have to be a public good. It could be like, it doesn't have to be something that's like privately owned or the government owns. Like, this you could do in your backyard for the people that have the land.
Me encanta, me encanta.
A sense of security, I would say. Yeah.
Awesome. Are coffee farmers actually making money from coffee, you would say?
Well, I would say in Puerto Rico that's hard to say, right? I don't know how many people know about the Jones Act, and I don't think I'm like the person to educate on that, but it's really hard. Like, if you go to Puerto Rico at the grocery store, coffee is expensive, and it's because even when it's grown there, to be able to be sold in their grocery stores, it takes a journey, like out of the island and back in. And so I'm not sure if farmers are making money out of it. In some ways, I feel like this project would be more to help them be self-sustained, like be able to feed their families and have themselves, than to make money. If that makes sense.
And it's so crazy because in Puerto Rico we have like the perfect weather para agricultura, no? We can do whatever we want. What's going on? I don't know, but...
Bueno, in my family from Juana Diaz, we had trees growing up. I would say like you can hang outside of abuela's house and grab some quenepas or like pancha, lo que sea. But now like those trees are drier, and there's also climate change is impacting it as well. So when you would go in October, in late August, there's not a whole lot of fruit left from those trees that bear fruit in the summer. And usually August was the right time to go and get them. It's like the seasons are much shorter, and I think climate change does impact it.
Right. Plus the storms, the hurricanes, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Has this organization changed your life personally?
yeah, I feel like this is my calling, right? Like, I love this work. Granted, I love all of my work. Like, even what I do professionally, I do really enjoy my work, and I enjoy my colleagues and the learning that I'm able to do there. But this feels very personal, right? Like, I learned from my parents to give back, and even though they never said it, oh, tiene que pasarlo para los demás, you could always see in their actions, right? When company came, there was plenty to go around. My dad used to have a garden in the north of Hartford. And he used to grow, I said dulce or tomatoes or corn, and like, we don't need, like, there's plenty for us. And, you know, pass it to the neighbors, go bring some down to la señora to us down. It was always about giving back. So they never needed to say that out loud, but it was the right thing to do, and I feel like it's still the right thing to do, to dar la mano a los que necesitan más. So I've been blessed in so many ways. Every time I get to visit a new country, I always think about, like, wow, I'm so grateful that my parents came here for more opportunity, and now I'm able to do this, and so I have to, like, it feels like I have to do more for others.
And that's how I know you're going to be successful in what you're doing, because it's coming out from here, from your heart. And when you do things with your heart, you will always succeed.
And I will say, all of our co-founders are children of immigrants too, right? So we have a co-founder, Dima, who's from Jordan. Emmanuel, that was here earlier, his family's from Nigeria. He came here when he was really young. Kamal is also from Egypt. His family's from Egypt and Panama. So, like, we understand, like, there's those values have been instilled in all of us from when we were really small kids. Education is really important, right? As we were always told, education is the key. And so we're able to have that. So we're passing it on, so that children have, like, spaces, right? This project is specifically about farming, but a lot of our projects have been about education and building classrooms, and we kind of took that for granted living in the U.S., right? Like, you always have, like, these brick buildings, these beautiful now, like the schools now, I mean, some really nice facilities, but people around the world don't always have that luxury or that necessity that we kind of take for granted.
True. We have so much here, and it's so important to give back. Yeah. So where do you want this organization to be in 5 years?
Well, I think in 5 years, we are continuing to do projects like this. We're going to just increase the impact, and maybe there's like 3 different communities in Puerto Rico, and we're getting to go back to a lot of the spaces where we come from, right? Like, we're hoping to do a project in Nigeria as well. We haven't been able to do that. We're just expanding the current progress. We're providing clean water to even more communities. We're continuing to build schools.
What are the countries you guys go to?
Yeah, so we've been to Ghana, we've been to Guinea, we've had a project in Uganda. Our team didn't necessarily go there, and so all of the projects don't require a trek. Sometimes teammates are able to just fundraise for a thing, and then a thing happens. So, for example, it's the Period Poverty Project that we work with British Olympic runner Jodie Williams. Her team, which is another organization called FemLead, they were fundraising to get a machine that would help them automate the process of creating sanitary pads for young girls, right? In Uganda, when girls get their period, you see a decline in their enrollment in school because there's shame around having your period. They don't have the right items, and when you don't have the right items, it could increase the number of diseases that they're getting because they're just using anything. So FemLead had donated banana trees. Once the banana trees are no longer bearing fruit, they can use the trunk of the banana tree to process that into fluff with this machine to make the pads.
Brutal.
I know. Brutal. And then, so they can give the pads to the young girls in their village, but also they can, like, the women of the village are able to go into the town and sell it. So it's kind of like its own social enterprise. So it's really cool.
Brutal.
So things like that didn't require a trek, so we were still able to help them fundraise through our platform, and then they were able to do the thing.
That's so awesome. So if someone listening wants to help but can't donate money, what can they do?
Make a connection for us, right? If you know about an organization that's doing a really cool thing, reach out to us, say, hey, like, this organization is doing XYZ. I think there's some alignment with the work that you've done or wanting to do. We're always looking for new partners, right? The way that all of the organizations have worked out in in the past is that there is some sort of connection, right? When we started going to Kenya, which is another place I didn't mention, when we started going to Kenya, one of our co-founders was on his own on vacation, and he saw this group of people that were coming from like doing a service project. I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. That happened in January. By October, we were already there building a school.
Wow.
So like, it's just the right opportunity shows up. So if you are not able to donate, make a connection, introduce yourself to us, and hopefully you can help us spread the word, right? Like all of our projects are available online at goteamup.org, but also on our socials, like I mentioned, at teamup.ngo.
And share the content, because the more you share, the more people we can reach, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna leave your website and the links below,
Yeah.
so people can also visit, and if they want to donate or participate in any way, the information is gonna be in the description box. If you could send one message to the people watching this interview right now, what will you tell them?
In a lot of ways, like I said, I've been blessed, right? Like having a wonderful family, just the number of opportunities that I've had. I think it's only right that I give it, pay it forward. So if you've been blessed, if you have more to, give, pay it forward, even if it's to a stranger that you don't know yet, just pay it forward.
Me encanta el mensaje porque a veces, sometimes we take the little things for granted, and we go to these other countries and we see the necessity, sometimes things that we throw away that other people could take advantage, and we are truly blessed that we can give back. And I want to thank you today for your time and for the interview, and we'll see you next time.